Hey, I'm Randy Younger, New York City's go to film enthusiast. Every week, I dive deep into the world of cinema with special guests from the New York City film scene. Whether I'm interviewing industry insiders or comparing the latest releases, there's always something for every movie lover. Join me as I explore the magic of film and discover what makes these movies unforgettable. Hey guys, I'm Randy Younger, and it is a special episode of Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And with me tonight, I have a wonderful friend and guest to the show, and a personal friend to mine as well, Mr. Max Keller. Max, welcome back to the
I
show.
Thank you so much. Always glad to do these reviews with you, honestly. I'm so glad we're able to talk about these films together. This is going to be good.
It's gonna be a good one. I definitely I agree with that sentiment, sir. And the two films we're going to be discussing tonight are fresh out of the Tribeca Festival. The first one is called The Haunting of Pennhurst, and it is a very interesting documentary which follows. It basically talks about the history of a mental hospital slash school which was built in the 1930s, and there were incidents of torture and just mistreatment of the patients. But fast forward to today, where they have actually transformed this haunted hospital into a Halloween tourist attraction, where the employees at the hospital now are actors who are hired there to scare the guests. It's a kind of an interesting shift, I must say. And the second film is a very different film. It's a Japanese drama called Memorizu, and it follows this man whose father-in-law rather, breaks his leg, and he travels to this countryside area to help him out with his Photoshop. He takes photos, he develops them, and it's a strange movie. There's not much of a plot, but there is. It focuses mostly on cinematography and themes of the passage of time and memory. So before we get into the reviews, Max, how you been? It's been what, about a week or two?
It it's definitely been a long time. I've been trying to squeeze some movies in. I was actually kind of preparing because you usually like to ask what I'm working on right now. I'm trying to watch some films in Tom Cruise's filmography for absolutely no reason. So some of that has actually been kind of fun. I mean, like I know I'm going to watch The Color of Money
Nice.
this week mainly because Scorsese, I kind of don't really have a reason not to watch every movie he's made,
Right.
or at least the narrative ones. So I watched like The Hustler a few days ago.
Mm.
Absolutely amazing film. I've just been hanging in there for the summer, spending time with some great people. Do we want to talk about the screening for The Man Who Wasn't There with Us?
Yeah, we could definitely discuss that a bit. So basically, Max and I and a friend Maya Free of the New York City Ghostbusters, we all met up at the Paris Theater. I think it was 2 weeks ago,
Yes.
where they had a very special 4K premiere of the 2001 Coen Brothers film, The Man Who Wasn't There. It's a great film noir starring Billy Bob Thornton, Francis McDormand, James Gandolfini, the late great James Gandolfini. It is shot black and white, and it was just a great movie, very interesting and great tone. And also, the composer of the score was actually in attendance, Mr. Carter Burwell, who has scored a number of Coen Brother films, as
Mm,
well as others. Personal favorite of mine is probably Being John Malkovich.
amazing score.
Yeah, so good. And he's done just a great body of work. He was there to do a Q&A, and he shed some interesting light on the film. And Max, did you have a good time?
I had an amazing time. This is a film that I hadn't seen like in at least like 6 years, so it was great to like witness it again and catch like so many little details. I was into the performances and really just hearing this composer like talk about all the other directors he worked with as well as their processes because he also mentioned like stuff with like Todd Haynes, Martin
Mhm.
McDonagh, and how different that is from the Coen brothers as well as like how they interpret their films. I honestly just had a great experience with not only the film but just seeing the composer there as well. That was great.
Yeah, I love the like I knew about that screening for like weeks, and I know that it cut into the Tribeca Festival a little bit, but I didn't care because I had to see and hear Carter Burwell speak
Hmm.
in person, and it really was just a lovely, lovely evening. As you know, Max, I am a huge film score nerd,
I have
and
noticed that.
yes, yes, and it was very cool to see him there. So and I'm glad you were there with me
Yeah,
to
yeah,
share that.
no. Honestly, I love going to like Q&A screenings in the New York City area and stuff, like really great stuff. I just like going to movies there in general, mainly because like as someone that's from Long Island, rarely you'll actually see like big events like that. Like I think the biggest event we have currently is I think like in a few weeks I found a screening of American Psycho that's going to be introduced by the woman who made it
Oh,
as
cool.
alongside like a film she made before. I'm
Mhm.
going to the latter, but I don't know, mainly because that one has a Q&A and stuff, so there's that.
Is that at the Cinema Arts Center?
Yes, yes it is.
Great theater, guys. It's in Huntington, Long
Yeah.
Island, and it is a wonderful, wonderful theater. They have a bunch of retro screenings every now and then, well, every
Yeah.
week, I should say, right? And
Definitely like at least like once every 2 days,
yeah,
I'd
it's
say.
if I lived closer, I've been saying this for a while. If I lived closer to Huntington, I'd be there probably every week, because they definitely have a good program. Uh,
Yeah, I'll try not to guilt trip you about moving here. It's
No
okay.
problem, no problem. I was kicking myself because there was one Friday a few months ago where they showed The Burbs, which is one of
Right.
my all-time favorites. And Joe Dante, guys, if you haven't seen The Burbs, check out The Burbs. It's from the director of Gremlins, Inner Space, and it's just a really kooky. I wouldn't even maybe you call it kind of a horror comedy, but it's just very goofy. You've got Tom Hanks, Bruce Dern, Carrie Fisher, Corey Feldman. It's a great cast, great film.
Nice.
Kind of like this nosy neighbors who are, investigating their new, the new neighbors on the block who they suspect might be serial killers or demons or something. They don't know, but throughout the whole movie, Tom Hanks and his cronies are trying to investigate and figure out what the heck is going on. And it's just a really fun movie from 1989. Check out The Burbs, guys. I can't praise this movie enough. It's just so much fun. But yeah, why don't we get underway, Max? What do you think?
Let's do it. I mean, I would like to hear a little bit more about your Tribeca experience, but I think you have an episode of that stuff, right?
Yeah, so the next episode after this one will be a recap of everything I've seen, and I'm going to have possibly two other guest critics on as well who
Nice.
attended Tribeca as well. And yeah, just a great festival. I tried to make as many events as possible. My thing is red carpets. I did two of them, which
Of
was
course,
awesome.
nice.
And a lot of screening links, a lot, as you know, Max. So a lot.
I didn't know we were allowed to say that, but thank you so much for
You know
that.
what? Now that I mention it, Rachel, edit that out, please.
Good point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good thing we're not live.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, but I tried to make a bunch of events as I could. It was a wonderful festival. I ran into some critics that I knew, some publicists that I knew from the
Nice.
past, and I met some new people too, which was very cool. It's a great festival, Max. I hope you can make it next year.
Honestly, I'm gonna try like at least a few films there. Yeah,
Yeah.
next
They
year.
they always have some really interesting films. And I'm glad I went this year. It was hot though this year. I remember, you know, being on those red carpets and I had some of the car I had short sleeves, that was good. But waiting outside in 80 plus degree heat,
That's gotta be tough,
yeah.
honestly.
But when I met Zach Braff and interviewed him, it was totally
That's
worth
cool.
it. So that was definitely the highlight, I must say.
Nice.
But yeah, lots of great films, lots of variety this year. I mean, every year there's variety, but I think this year was the most. they have very different genres, like every genre you could think of. Tonight we're going to be discussing a documentary and a Japanese drama,
right?
and they're both solid films.
I say so, yeah.
One's better than the other, not gonna lie, but both have very strong aspects to them. And the first one I want to talk about is a documentary called "The Haunting of Pennhurst." I mentioned in the beginning
Right.
about this mental hospital that has been transformed into basically a tourist attraction or a haunted house, if you will. And these actors who work there, they dress up, they put makeup on. There's a contortionist, and they kind of just are there to scare the hell out of you.
Hmm.
And I don't know if I want to go to this place. It's in Pennsylvania. It's a little too freaky for me. I've done haunted houses like this before, and they're cool. They're very exciting, but I don't know. I don't really like to get. I don't like the jump scares, Max. Maybe you're different. I don't know.
Honestly, I tried having. I remember being like 10, and there's like a haunted house attraction like in my area, and I remember like wanting to do it to prove that I was mature, but I remember like one haunted house just like running out of there, like, I'm not doing this again.
No, it's traumatic, you know? I
A
mean,
little.
for some people, some people can stomach it, but I don't think it's for me.
I mean, like, it seems like a fun experience and a fun community, but
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think I can handle it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think they have haunted houses, a couple of them upstate, I want to say, or Long Island,
Right.
maybe in your area, Max,
Definitely, yeah. It should
um,
happen in the fall, I guess.
but the one in this documentary is in rural Pennsylvania, and like I mentioned, it was an actual mental hospital from the 30s up until 1987 when it closed, and that's when they transformed it into this attraction. I thought the film was good. I really enjoyed the subject matter. I thought it was very interesting. Um, I don't know how effective it was in telling its message, of like transforming a very serious situation into something that's kind of like, kind of goofy and fun. Maybe that's the whole point. Like it's like a transformation to make it something negative into a positive, and that's what I really took away from this film. And I did appreciate that, but I didn't think that the execution was that strong. Max, what did you think of The Haunting of Pennhurst?
I guess that kind of makes sense. I mean, I must have said this when we talked about the John Candy documentary that we discussed last year. I'm kind of a little hard to ha I don't know what the word I'm trying to think is, but it's hard
Okay.
for me to like handle documentaries. So I was
Okay.
actually really surprised by this, mainly because like I expected, like, okay, I have no idea what this is. And from the beginning, it almost kind of seemed like it was going to like sort of vilify these Han actors. But what I did really like is that it's like it spent more time with them for them to get to know, for someone like me, the viewer, to get to know all the other people and stuff, all the people
Mm.
involved in this attraction, as well as like why they're doing this. And
Huh.
that's honestly one of the stuff that I really liked, because it's very easy to be like, look, they're turning people's trauma into entertainment and stuff, or like, oh, but they're doing it for a good cause. And one of
Mm.
the things I do really like about the film is like mainly just how it simply presents this stuff.
Mm.
It doesn't really take an angle with the idea of like how they're handling this insane asylum. It's more just like, we're gonna show you, we're gonna let everyone explain their reasons. But one of the things I also love is that it's still thoughtful and recognizing of the horrible events that
Mm.
occurred like at this place. Like I noticed like plenty of scenes where it's like you'll see cast members like looking at like the artifacts there and just being like, oh gosh, I can't even handle this, as
Yeah.
well as like some archival footage of how some people dealt with it. Like I actually thought this was pretty moving, honestly,
Mm.
and I was also like really into like how it portrayed, like, I shouldn't say portrayed, but like what it showed of like the scare actors in general, making it
Yeah.
seem like a very fun community to be a part of, honestly. Like I did really like that. There was also a detail, I don't know if it's really a spoiler or not, but they have like people in the cast that are like neurodivergent or like LGBT, one person's deaf. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like how it does make the claim where it's like this is what we're trying to do to overcome the type of oppression we felt in the past. So I don't know.
Hmm.
I just thought that was really well done. You want to say more?
Yeah. No, no, I did like the depiction of the actors and how, they've never been really accepted, but this is like their tribe now, their community.
Of course, yeah.
Um, but I don't know, it's just like the stuff with the history of the hospital up to and then the modern story of all the actors. It just I don't know, something about it. Like there wasn't a good bridge between both. You know what I
I
mean?
guess I think I know what you mean, honestly. I will admit, like, it does get a little inconsistent. I don't want to
Mm,
say inconsistent, but mainly like the
mm,
way it handles tones where it's like you'll notice like a hard jump between like people putting on makeup, like, wow, you're so scary with that, and then like
yeah.
seeing like a bunch of kids like doing these free labor stuff. Like, no,
Mhm.
it's still very haunting, like what they're showing.
Right.
Again, I do see your problem with like the tonal changes and stuff. To
Yeah.
me, that wasn't really that big of a problem for
Hmm.
me. I don't think this is like a perfect movie or anything, but I will say honestly, I think its heart is in the right place. I
Yeah.
personally fe- I did really like its perspective of just wanting to show and not really try to force feed an ideology, which I assume is really hard for
Mm.
documentaries, but
Yeah.
nah, I think I get it.
Yeah. I mean, it was like I'm like torn because I liked both stories, a lot, but they just
I
didn't really there wasn't a good balance.
I
And
guess you wanted like more of, I don't know if you wanted more like of a separation or something, or just like
honestly, I think this could have been two separate films.
that actually could have worked
You
actually,
know what I
like
mean?
maybe like a two-parter or something.
Yeah,
Like
or just two completely separate movies. Maybe I don't know if they'd be by the same maybe by the same filmmaker,
I
but
think that could work
you know what
actually.
I
Like
mean?
maybe
But
like do the beginning with like the Pennhurst history and stuff and make the
right.
second half the scare actors. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that could work actually.
It could, but I did like the film, don't get me wrong. I just think that it was a little uneven. And but I
I
did
definitely
like
I do will agree it does have some pacing issues and
yeah.
stuff like that.
And
That is a problem I do have with it.
And I just want to mention that this is actually the first time filmmakers Nathan Stenberg, Mike Addy, and Katerina Pojak, who are the filmmakers for this documentary, and
Hmm.
it's their first one. And
That's impressive.
I think they did a very good job here. So
Yeah.
I'm happy for them. I look forward to see more of their work in the future for
Yeah,
sure.
no. I did want to mention like something I did find out about the directors where one of
Mm,
them was like willing to go into this being like, okay, we want to treat mainly like we see what you're doing and we want to show like this is wrong, but then like as they follow these group of people, like how they learn to be like, you know what, this actually
mm,
isn't really that awful what they're doing, and I just wanted to show that. And I think like that approach kind of leans into like some aspects of like how they present like the scare actors in general with their community and everything. I
yeah.
can sort of see it for that because I will admit maybe the intentions before they started shooting was maybe not the intentions like after, which
Oh, interesting.
to me that actually isn't like a problem. It's just like an interesting observation, which kind of
Mhm.
helps the film in my eyes.
So kind of like they started off with an idea of what the film was going to be, but it turned into something else.
Yeah,
It
pretty much.
kind
Like
of
they start to like understand all the scare actors and stuff and like
you know.
see their points of view and everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, th
Interesting.
this very well could have been like, look at how they're exploiting this. Like there's even like moments of that like in the film with like
Hmm.
even scare actors acknowledging like the horror and stuff and even like
Hmm.
being like, is this really the best way to address it?
Yeah.
Like
Um,
that's a clear worry they have.
gotcha. Yeah, but overall, I think it was a decent film and one of the better. documentaries. I saw a couple of others, which I'm going to
Yeah.
discuss in the next week's episode. But yeah, this is a solid documentary, and it definitely educated me. And I really did enjoy. I like the actually the editing was very good too. And I think that with a
Also, yeah,
documentary, the editing is like one of the most important things of a
it's
documentary.
gotta be. Yeah.
Yeah, and this film is no different. So I want
Right.
to commend the editing team on this, or if it's just one guy. Um, but yeah, The Haunting of Pennhurst, guys, check it out. Preferably during Halloween season. I recommend that.
That'd
It's
be good.
yeah, that's not a bad thought. I can't, I
I
don't
don't
think
know when it's like getting released like
yeah.
worldwide or like getting a wider release, but yeah,
Yeah,
no.
I think it was
October
just
would work.
yeah, it'd be perfect. And it was premiered at the Tribeca Festival, so I guess it's just in a process of getting distribution.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
I've noticed like festivals I've been to have had that experience where
yeah.
like I don't know, I saw a film with Jennifer Coolidge there where they showed like the Lionsgate logo, but the film didn't really even make it to theaters. Like it just dropped on Hulu like in March of the next year, so which is like
Oh,
kind of sad. I kind of wish I had more of a chance.
yeah. I honestly, I do kind of predict that this film is going to have a similar fate. Unfortunately, I could
Mm,
definitely see this on one of the streamers, and I mean, I hope it gets a theatrical release.
yeah.
Obviously, that'd be awesome. But you know, t time will tell.
I feel like there would be like some independent theaters like somewhere that would be like, okay, we can play this for a week or something, but the screenings would be limited. Like I think that
Yeah.
could work.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So, all right. Haunting of Pennhurst, awesome.
Yep.
And now we're going to switch gears to a film that did not resonate with me as strongly. I'm not gonna lie. And this Japanese drama called Memorizu. I mean, I get what the filmmakers were trying to do here. The story is about a guy who basically goes to help his father-in-law after he breaks his leg in the countryside, and it's less of a plot and more of like an experience. It's all about photography, memories and time, and how I guess memories are so important in the fabric of life. And it's it's a beautifully shot film. I'm not
Definitely
gonna lie.
beautiful.
I mean, I think that was my favorite aspect of it was the cinematography.
Yeah.
And that actually was done by Kamakari Yoichi. And this is only
Mm,
his second film, and I think they have done a fantastic job here. I also want to mention the director, Miku Sakanishi, who drew on actual personal experience. His father was involved in the arts as well,
right.
and visual mediums and all that, and music. Um, and kind of followed in his footsteps. And in the film, we get a gentleman who is basically a photographer. So there's a lot of overlap here it's like fiction meets reality. And in that respect, I did enjoy the film. But I'll be honest, the movie is a little bland. It's not exactly an exciting film. It's not a lot going on, except for the beautiful visuals, which is the main takeaway. The performances are okay. The lead actor here, I don't. Oh yes,
Yeah, I was gonna look him up because
uh,
I have some thoughts on him.
yeah. I believe it's. Oh, sorry. Rachel, edit this part out. Sorry. This movie is like
I got his name if
You-
you want me to say it.
yeah okay yeah Mac yeah who's the lead? I'm sorry.
I'm gonna butcher the name Tasuku Imoto.
Ta Tasuku Imoto, yeah, as Yuta.
All right, yeah.
um he was all right. I didn't really find anything extraordinary about
I
his
actually didn't
performance.
mind him mainly because like I did see some subtleties with like the whole thing is that like he's leaving his wife and daughter for 2 months. So one of the
Yeah.
things like I did kind of take the film as is like mainly missing those that are close to you. And I did kind of see that like in the performance where just a little bit of subtlety where like
Mm.
I don't know, you see him like taking pictures of like scenery, sending it to his wife and like
Yeah.
even making videos. I will say, building off of your argue building off what you said about the cinematography, it is the best aspect of the film. It definitely feels very inspired.
Yeah.
I heard the director was inspired by Edward Yang, who made a film I really liked called Yi Yi.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I feel like that's more of a film. This is going to be all over the place, so I'll get a negative over with. Unfortunately, I feel like Yi Yi is a film where it makes more of its purpose, I guess, a little more known, I guess, like a little clearer with itself. Like, okay, this is what the film is going for. It's like both have a similar structure. Both are kind of slice of lifey in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a film. I feel like Yi was a film where it's like by the time it's over, you're like, oh wait, hang on. I don't think I
Mm.
fully got everything. Where with this, I kind of feel the same, but it's less of a I want to explore everything and more just kind of feeling underwhelmed,
Yeah.
honestly. Like
Yeah.
I actually love the setup of this film with like how it shows him like leaving his family and stuff, and I was like, okay, I want to see where this goes, but I just remember like thinking to myself like, dude, can we do a little more with this? Like
Yeah.
I'm fine with like a film that's essentially like plotless, I guess, but I just felt like some of the stuff just really like what's the goal here? Like
Right.
can we get a little more like
Yeah.
I don't know thought brought in? I don't want to say thought, but you know what? You go before I lose my train of thoughts.
No, you're good. You're good. So I mean, I do respect what the filmmaker tried to do here. Kind of almost like stream of consciousness. Kind of no real story per se. It just kind of floats along, kind of
Yeah.
like in a river. It's just kind of just the flow. Very. But again, the visuals are fantastic, and I wanted to mention again that this is the filmmaker Miko Sakanishi's first feature,
Right.
and they won an award at Tribeca, actually, the best new narrative director award, and that's pretty amazing, I must say.
I mean, yeah, it's very impressive. It's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to like check this film out in a way.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
just like finding out about that like award was like, okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, and also the first Japanese director to receive this prize. So
That's awesome.
that is something, you know,
Yeah.
that fact alone, I think, is better than the movie itself.
Yeah, no, I definitely see a style with this filmmaker, like something that he can achieve. And again, like there are plenty of, I found out that there's like some influences from directors I actually like. I
Hmm.
mentioned Edward Yang. There's a Iranian filmmaker, Kiarostami, I think his name is. I definitely
Right.
see similarities in how they both approach their stories. I feel like again, something like a Kiarostami film, it's like, okay, I see the purpose.
Right.
I'm actually thinking a lot about what the film is saying, where it's like I felt like I had to dig deeper into what the film was saying, and even then I might have just been like stretching for meaning
Yeah.
with it, honestly.
I mean, maybe this film, like many, many other films, requires multiple viewings to fully appreciate what's happening here. But I'll be honest, I definitely I dozed off a few times. It's just a very subtle, very quiet film, and I definitely think I may need to revisit. How do you feel about that, Max?
I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense for your end.
Yeah.
Honestly, I keep forgetting if I was being too nice or too harsh on the film. I think the film is just okay for now. There's like some little things I did research with like how the
Mm.
filmmaker wanted to capture a part of nostalgia, and in that sense, it kind of worked. I feel
Mm.
like obviously the thing is that I just wasn't really interested in the story itself, honestly. Like I felt like more could have been like explored in a way.
Yeah.
It didn't have, I'm not saying like we need to have like explosions or something. I'm just saying
No,
like give
just
me
something to chew
yeah.
on. Something,
That's what the
some.
problem is.
Yeah,
It,
there's not.
but I will say like I
Yeah.
definitely respect where the filmmaker is headed. There's one thing I will say about the visual thing is like he definitely took note of like the cameras being used from like certain characters with like even having some shots being shot on an iPhone alongside like these professional
Right.
looking shots with like beautiful composition. I can see this director like making something like that I could find legitimately great. This, even though I wasn't like fully engrossed in this film, I can see this director like making something that
Really
I'll
great. Yeah.
love at some
Really,
point.
I no, this filmmaker obviously has potential, and I really want to see what they can do
Yeah,
as well. Because again, I can't praise the visuals enough here. So yeah, definitely looking forward to what this director is going to do next. He is a huge talent. He just needs a really good script, I think, to really
yeah,
propel his vision.
right,
And yeah, but yeah, for a first film, this is pretty impressive. And to win that
yeah,
award again, awesome.
right.
So Max,
It's an
any
impressive debut,
yeah,
honestly. Like I do really respect it from that regards, and it does give me a little taste, but it
hmm,
feels more like one of those films where it's like, okay, let's see what you can do next. Like I can think of like plenty of directors where it's like the debut is just a taste of
yeah,
what they would grow to make. I like Bottle Rocket's an example from Wes Anderson where it's like,
right.
okay, I see like the types of the type of humor as well as like the storylines. I'm trying to think of like other debuts, but you keep going while I
Yeah, well, how about Terminator?
we can use. I mean, we can use Terminator. I mean, I consider Piranha 2 as debut, surprisingly.
Good point. But the movie that really propelled Cameron's career, definitely The Terminator.
Yeah, well, we can even use that, like an
Yeah.
early work of something where it's like later they would go on to do like
Right.
bigger and better things.
But no, you're right, Max, about being the first
Yeah.
ever, the first
Right.
film ever. This director knocked it out of the park in
Right.
that respect.
I
Uh,
could say Duel, actually. That could really work,
okay.
even though I legitimately think that's a great film.
Wasn't that a TV movie? Not to split hairs.
Technically, it was. I'm gonna count it
Okay,
personally.
okay, fair. Oh, also, with Memorizo, I want to mention the father-in-law played by Issei Ogata. I think he did a great job. He had very little dialogue, but his presence was definitely very strong. And
You know, he definitely worked.
I really didn't find the rest of the cast that impressive, but I definitely liked his gravitas. He had a certain
Right.
presence about him, which I really respected.
Right.
Um,
I will say the cast kind of works like for the characters that they're playing, honestly. Like,
no,
or at least with the limited screen time. Like,
true.
I don't want to say anything like negative, but I think the kid actually really about like child actors, but I think like even the daughter really works. Like
Yeah.
you definitely get a sense of her character and stuff and like
Hmm.
what she's feeling, and she has like maybe 5 minutes of screen time at most.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But no, she was very effective for sure.
yeah,
And I there's a sequence where she's doing like a school play, like a performance in front of the class, and
right,
it's very cute, very sweet moment. Uh no
right.
spoilers
I do
there.
like a little, yeah, I do like a little detail she pulls off, but that's the most I'm gonna say.
Yes, yes.
You'll know when
Um
you see it.
So yeah, I see Memorizo. I say it's worthwhile to check it out. If not for the first time filmmaker who is
Right,
awesome. Again, cannot praise Miku Sakanishi enough. They are
right,
fantastic. And yeah, definitely a filmmaker to watch.
right.
So so yeah, Max, we just have like a couple minutes left, and I'm just curious, are there any films coming up that you're looking forward to?
There's definitely some I'm trying to think of. I might just have to do the coming soon feature on IMDb.
Yeah.
Um, I I already got my IMAX 70 millimeter tickets for the Odyssey.
The Odyssey. Yes. What is
That'll
that?
be great.
Is that that's mid-July, right? Or late July?
Yeah, July 17th is like I guess the Friday it comes out.
Okay. And
I don't know if Evil Dead Burn is gonna be any good, but I'm probably gonna see that. I like that franchise a lot.
I mean, as do I, sir. But I don't think the franchise, has much merit after the first three.
That's
Uh,
true, actually.
Um,
I'm just like curious.
yeah, no, I
That's
get
all.
you. Because I attempted to watch the last one. Was that Evil Dead Rise or something?
Yeah. I actually didn't
And
mind that one, but
or
again, like not as good as like the first three.
no, I couldn't get through it. It didn't have the same flavor as, the originals.
Fair
I
enough.
love Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness so much.
Evil Dead 2 is great. Yeah.
They're just classics in my mind. But maybe the new one will change my mind, and hopefully the franchise will be back on track. We'll see.
Maybe. I'm looking currently, there are two movies in August that look really interesting to me.
Okay.
One is The End of Oak Street. I don't know if you've seen a trailer, but the director
No.
David Robert Mitchell made a film was really looking forward to when I was a teenager called Under the Silver Lake. When it
Okay.
came out, I was so happy and just liked seeing all the little conspiracies that were going on. And I'm really excited for his next film,
Okay.
especially since it seems like it's going to have like a big studio backing it. Like I see J.J. Abrams as a producer.
Okay. Good.
Uh,
Nice.
yeah, what's the other one? Coyote versus Acme's finally coming out.
Oh,
That's
is it? Oh,
awesome.
yeah. I heard
Yeah.
something. So they unearthed it, right? They got it out of the vault. And
Yeah, I think like
that's
they were able to find like a studio to, I guess, like
wow.
distribute it. Like, yeah, I'm seeing coming soon, August 28th to 2026. Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay.
There is one film
Nice.
I did see a trailer for. I don't know how far we want to like keep doing this since this is like September, but
Yeah, that's fine.
have you seen a trailer for the film How to Rob a Bank?
No, but I that sounds familiar. Who's in that?
So far all I'm getting is Nicholas Hoult, Christian Slater, Zoe Kravitz, John C. Riley, Pete
Hmm.
Davidson for some reason. I
Okay.
don't really love the filmmaker all that much, but I remember seeing the trailer thinking, you know what, crap, this actually could be really fun.
Okay. Sounds good. Good, great cast.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
well, I want to mention that the Furious is actually doing very well.
Heard about
With
that.
my critic friends, and I've been hearing some great things regarding that. Also, what's interesting is Hugh Jackman in The Death of Robin Hood. That has
Okay.
potential. It's an A24 release, which is cool.
Hmm.
And of course, Toy Story 5. I haven't really heard much about that, but it's a
I
Toy Story.
hear it's good, but
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Yeah. I mean, I don't
I
even
think it'll be the same reaction as the fourth, but that's
Yeah, I
it.
don't even remember the fourth one too well. I just remember Forky being adorable. But
Yep.
the
That's
plot
it.
wasn't. That's about it. Yeah. All right. What do we got? The new Jackass movie. Um,
Why not?
yeah, and I believe next week we have Supergirl, which is cool.
I was gonna say, I know like my parents are really excited for that. My mom's already got tickets for her birthday in a week,
Cool.
so there's that.
She's a big DC person.
I don't know. I know she really loved the Superman movie that came out last year, though. Yeah.
Nice.
We had
Cool.
a bet where we had a bet where she was like, I bet you $100 that that film gets nominated for Best Picture. So that was fun.
Superman. Okay. I don't think the original Superman was nominated for Best Picture. Uh,
I don't think it was either. I know it must have won like a visual effects or something, right?
Yeah,
Like,
probably. I know John Williams was nominated for the best score.
nice.
But yeah, 1978, I believe that was the Deer Hunter won Best Picture, if not mistaken.
Right, yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah. But yeah, Evil Dead Burn, I'm looking at it now. It has promise, good sir. Promise.
It could be good. That's all I'm saying. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm seeing it for selfish reasons, just to be like, ah, we'll see what it's like.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me
But
know.
yeah, I'll let
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And yeah, Odyssey. That's going to be like the epitome of epic. Like that's
Pretty
an epic.
much.
And yeah, I'm
Yeah, no,
excited. It's
really
going to be like
excited.
it's going to be like over 3 hours, I'm assuming.
I think like yeah,
Something
I'm pretty
crazy.
sure it should be like 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
I can double check right now actually.
Okay.
2 hours and 52 minutes. Yeah,
Okay. Oh wow. Also Spider-Man Brand New Day. That should be good, even though
yeah.
I've had superhero fatigue for the past 3 years now. Uh
I feel you with that.
That's why I'm actually very happy that we have a refreshed a rebooted DC universe with James Gunn's films.
Right. I
Uh,
will say I did like his Superman movie a lot.
yeah,
I feel like there's potential with what he's doing right now with that universe.
yeah, it's going in a good direction, which I'm happy about.
Right.
And we'll see how Supergirl does. Probably gonna do very well.
Yeah, probably.
And yeah, some other stuff. Oh, The End of Oak Street, you mentioned. Anne Hathaway's in that. Oh, Ewan McGregor. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it had a big cast and stuff when
Yeah.
I looked it up.
So Dave Green is doing Coyote versus Acme. Dave Green, he did the Ninja Turtles sequel, the live action, the most
Was
recent.
it out of the what the heck is it called? Yeah, Out of
uh,
the Shadows. Now I
Outer
remember.
Shadows, which has, I must say, a very good score from Steve Jablonsky, who I interviewed a number of years ago, and it was one of the greatest interviews of my life.
I'm jealous.
I geeked out hard with that man, and it
Nice.
was a lot of fun. So, all right, so Max, we're just about out of time, and I was curious if there's any plugs that you have on your end.
I always have my letterbox. As I said in the beginning, I am, I'll just say like my profile, which is Max Keller, just my name, no spaces, uppercase M, uppercase K. I do have, as I said, I am going to watch The Color of Money this week, I
Nice.
think. I know I'm going to see a film starring Linda Blair called Chained Heats from 1983.
Cool.
Again, we were talking about the Cinema Arts Center. They're showing that. I can't help but go. It's in 35 millimeter. So there's that. I'm probably going to try to squeeze in both Platoon and Born on the 4th of July. Yeah, I've actually never seen them. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Born on the 4th of July might be my favorite Cruise performance.
Oh, nice.
It's like totally not him at all. Like it's a complete, it's just, that's acting. That's like being someone you're not. And he's not running, he's not doing his stunts and like beating people up. He's this like tortured veteran slash activist, and it is a brilliant film. You've never seen it, Max?
I've never seen it.
Oh
This is going to
man,
be my first time. I've Platoon's been on the list for a while. I
nice.
wanted to watch Born on the 4th of July for a bit too, so
Yeah.
I want to just be like, okay, I need to see these movies now. I have an
Oliver
excuse.
Stone. Oliver Stone is a genius, and yeah, that movie and Wall Street are probably my favorites of his.
Oh, nice.
And of course, JFK. And there's a lot. I actually have not seen Nixon. That's on my list. But yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. So, all right. So the
Right.
letterbox, that's good. I've got one too. I never really promote it. I'm not on it as much as I should, but it's just Under the Radar with a G, Under the Radar. And you can find all my favorite movies. I've got a top 50, which is always evolving.
Oh,
But
now I gotta check that out.
yes, please, please. Max, I know you're active on it, so yeah, check that out.
Too much. Thanks.
So, all right. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention before we leave, the filmmaker Miko Sakanishi, his early work actually included music videos, and I forgot to mention that.
Right. Yeah.
So that kind of makes sense, right? Like very visual,
I
very.
guess it makes sense. Definitely with like the shot composition and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really, I just did, I wanted to throw that in there before we leave. And as for me, you can check out Under the Radar on Manhattan Neighborhood Network, and that's every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. Also, wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify and Apple podcasts as well, you could catch it there. And as always, check out the Under the Radar YouTube channel, subscribe and
Nice.
share. So, Max Keller.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. This was
Thank you
amazing.
so much for having me. This was a blast.
Anytime. You're always invited. I mean that.
Nice.
So, guys, I'm Randy Unger. This has been Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. We'll see you next time. Take care. Hey guys, I'm Randy Younger, and this is a special edition of Under the Radar, where we talk all things film. And right now, I have with me a very special guest. We have actor, producer Brandon Routh of the wacky new legal comedy Out of Order. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me.
So I love this movie. It's so refreshing to see a comedy like this again. I feel like we haven't had something like this for maybe decades. It's kind of like it feels like a 90s comedy, and
Yeah.
it's a great throwback. And it really feels like Clark Kent has been thrown into an episode of Three's Company. And, and I just want to thank you for that. And I was curious, what was it like tackling this type of film?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that review and the kind words. Yeah, it's funny. Other people have mentioned Jack Tripper and Three's Company vibe, just in how John is a little bit. And um, it's great to hear that you feel that it's something that is wanted and needed and missed in this type of film. I think when I read the script the first time, I thought the same thing because I love these kind of movies, and I was like, oh, to be a part of one of these, that would be so fun. Of course, we're very much an indie, small budget production versus a Mrs. Doubtfire or Liar Liar, one of those bigger ones. But I think we have a similar tone and we're creating a similar type of fun, which
Yeah.
is great to be a part of. And
Hmm.
I think I just talked and I didn't answer the question that you asked me.
No, no, that was perfect. That was
Okay.
fine. It's fine. How did you get involved with the project? Was this something that you've been thinking about for a while? I know you've done a lot of science fiction, but
Yeah.
this kind of sort of new territory for you. So, and you did it very well. But I'm
Thank
curious,
you.
how did the project come to you? What was the
Yeah.
start of that?
Well, I've been wanting to do comedy and more comedy all the time. I've done a couple romantic comedies, and Ray Palmer's, a lot of humor in Legends of Tomorrow and some other films, but nothing in a long time featuring me. And so I was working on Nine Lives of Christmas, or Nine Kittens of Christmas, the sequel to my Hallmark movie, up in Vancouver. And the script came by from my manager, said I had an offer for this movie called Out of Order, and gave me the premise. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. It's a comedy. Okay, let me read it right away because I don't often get um, offers for comedy stuff.
Mhm.
And but it's the thing I want to do most.
Nice.
And I read it right away, and I just immediately thought like I can. This is a lot.
Mm.
It could be risky if I do it wrong, but I think I can. I think I can really put a lot of energy and effort and like gusto into this, and it'd be really really funny. I could already feel playing the two characters and knew what that was going to feel like, and I immediately thought of Sam Huntington as Paul, and and I don't know if I called him that day or called him soon after and said, hey, there's this movie I'm going to talk to the director about you for. But, thankfully Guy was on board with that. And yeah, I was kind of sold right away, both by just how fun, how kind of like silly out loud moments there were in it. And it didn't take itself too seriously. And I thought this is something I can really sink my teeth into.
Yeah, this is definitely a movie that we needed. We've needed for a long time. I think last year we had the reboot of The Naked Gun, which was refreshing. But
Yeah.
I think Out of Order might be a more intelligent comedy because it tackles very good, interesting themes, and it's a love story. It's a story of friendship, and it's a story of navigating the waters of your professional life. So it's got a
Hmm.
lot for everybody.
Yeah.
And you have a great cast here too. You reunited with Sam Huntington. I believe it was Superman Returns, and then Dylan Dog was it?
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Okay. And this is your third time working on
Third
this?
film. Yeah.
Cool, cool. You guys have like a synergy going. It's good.
Thanks. Yeah. No, I just we've been friends since Superman Returns, and obviously we worked well together in that enough to know and became friends that he'd be great as Marcus in Dead of Night. And then when
Hmm.
this came around, I just knew like this is a guy who I can already see the relationship work in my head. I can imagine it, and also know that I can will feel comfortable to go big because he won't be judging me, and it'll be a safe environment um, to work with him, but also get so much from him, like life and back and forth between the characters because he brings so much, you know, passion and high stakes to his characters.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that you guys have a history, that you're friends in real life. It's really nice to
Yeah.
see. You also have an awesome supporting cast as well. Christopher Rodriguez is awesome. So is
Yes.
Tao Okamoto.
Yes. Yep.
And also kind of random comedic turns here from Sandra Bernhard, Brooke Shields, and Luis Guzman.
Yes.
And I'm
Fantastic.
curious, you've got such this great group of likable weirdos, but
A
in a
little
good
bit.
way, in
Yeah.
a good way, in a good way.
Yeah.
What was it like working with these fine people?
Oh, excellent. I mean, Brooke was a wonderful just person to and so sweet to work with and have a lot of fun with Danielle and Jack's scenes and brought so much depth and kind of groundedness to the project and also made it seem really like a cool project. And Luis Guzman was amazing, so much fun to work with. Again, he brought so much to the character that I just got to sit back a little bit in those scenes and react to him instead of being the one, you know, dancing around and being silly all the time. He got to do that a little bit, and I got to just uh, respond to him, which was great. And he was awesome to work with. Sandra was awesome for a couple days, and you know we have and Krista Tao, great, you know, creating the love triangle, and Krista's got a very funny performance, and I love a lot of
Yeah.
her scenes.
Yeah, they all bring something really cool to the table. And especially you, since you are the lead here. And yeah, I'm just curious. It looks like it's a fun set. Like you guys are just having a great time throughout the whole thing. But I am curious, what were some of the challenges you faced during filming?
Yeah, challenges of filming were that it was an independent movie,
Mm.
so it was very small budget. And working in New York City, you got to work smarter, not harder, and sometimes that works, and sometimes you know there's rain that happens, or you only have a location for a certain amount of time,
Mhm.
and you have issues you have to deal with on the fly. You can't throw money at it. You just have to
Right.
improv, you know, and just like kind of in the film sometimes. So I think that was, you know, the biggest challenge was the amount of time we had to film.
Mhm.
But that just made sure we had to do more preparation beforehand. So we
Mhm.
did have a couple days before we started shooting to rehearse a lot of the bigger scenes,
Okay.
and that helped quite a lot. But you know, it's time and money are the biggest challenges. And the courthouse also wasn't quite. We weren't sure the courthouse was going to be ready for us to use, but it did. It all worked out and made for fun.
Yeah, and it looked great. And I am curious, you did mention shooting in New York. I am based in New York, and
Okay.
it's a bustling city, as you
Yeah.
know, and there are definitely a lot of challenges that come with that. But the way that the New York City was filmed in this movie, it was like a character on its own, which I really
Yeah.
respected. I love that, like that high energy, especially from John slash Jack running through the
Hmm.
sidewalks and crashing into people. It's very like indicative of New York City.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what was it like filming in the five boroughs?
Yeah. That was a little bit wild. The first thing, well, we filmed over in near Astoria,
Hmm.
um,
Queens,
in
right?
Queens area. That was the scene where I'm jumping over the dog, kind of the opening, and get thrown into the garbage. And that was cool because it was more tame. There weren't so many people, right? That's like not Manhattan, right? So it's
Mhm.
it's more chill. People
Right.
watching what you're doing, but and that's kind of fun because you're on display. So it's almost a different level of acting too. It almost sometimes helps to have that outside perspective or
Right.
that people are watching because it locks me into what I'm doing. There was a scene. Well, we did two different versions of the running. So there's some running at the beginning and ending of the movie, and there was a different location that was chosen. It was like 52nd between 54th and like on Ninth, and I was
Mhm.
running up Ninth, and it was 3 p.m. It was a lot of people, and
Yeah.
I was in a suit and tie and glasses, and like this is weird. People
Mhm.
recognize me, or even if they don't recognize me, they might still think that's what's Clark Kent doing? Why is Superman running up? And because the camera was up at the top, a couple blocks away, so they didn't even know why I was running. I'm just, running like I'm in a hurry. So that was a unique experience to be running through the streets of New York filming something. Yeah.
Nice. Well, it looked great. It was very reminiscent of Clark Kent Superman. So I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, sure.
So let me just say here, the film will have a red carpet LA premiere at Dances with Films in Hollywood at the
Yes.
TCL Chinese Six Theaters a week on the evening of Monday, June 22nd.
Yeah, just a few
So,
days.
all right, and that's the best way people can see the film as of yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And great screening and get it sold and get it into bigger audiences.
Awesome. Well, good luck with the film, Brandon. It's really fun. It's a comedy we really need at this time. So
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you for that and everybody involved. So guys, I'm Randy Younger. This has been Under the Radar, where we talk all things film with Mr. Brandon Routh. The film is Out of Order. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.